Member for Nepean.
Thank you, Speaker, and I rise to contribute to this bill, the Summary Offences Amendment, Nazi Salute Prohibition Bill 2023. And as many who have stood and spoken before me, I do so, I'm not pleased to do so. It is with a heavy heart and of sadness that I do. And I do want to commend every member, as those who've spoken before me have, of their contributions to this bill. And the member for Malvern, I think, articulated his reply to the second reading very well. The member for Caulfield and our side, and then the member for Bulleen, but the member for Box Hill, who still sits in this chamber, and I can see the hurt that he feels as this bill is debated. And what you and your family have gone through, no one should ever have to experience that ever again, or experience the hatred that we have seen outside of this place over recent times. And personally, I remember a few years ago, as a private citizen, before being in this place, seeing the rise of neo-Nazis on current affairs programs on TV here in this state, and thinking, how does this exist in this day and age in Melbourne, in Victoria, in Australia? And I've been lucky enough to travel to many parts of the world, and I think there is probably no more accepting place of our multicultural communities, of differences in faith and differences of opinion and views. And to think that this could be going on, what was in the shadows in this city, what was online, what was behind closed doors, is abhorrent enough and disgusting enough in itself. But to see that happening, to become more angry, more agitated, and to be coming out into the public domain, it is almost hard to put into words how disgraceful that behaviour is. And it is hard for me to find words to describe, the feeling that I feel when I see that, and the feeling that I feel when I see people like the member for Caulfield and the member for Box Hill, how much it actually hurts them. And this should be no place for this. So, while there are some amendments on this bill from the member for Malvern, and I urge the government to take those up, and I'll mention that quickly. The fact that this whole chamber, every member in here on behalf of the Victorian people, stands united on this bill, I think it's the right thing to do, and I hope that we never ever see these sort of behaviours in this state or anywhere else ever again. The Holocaust, it is probably the greatest atrocity in human history, Deputy Speaker, and the fact that Nazis attempted to murder every single Jew in Europe, over 600 million of them, it is something that, while we hope we never see something like that again, we will do everything we can to never ever see something like that ever again. And as I said, it's sad to have to debate this legislation, but we cannot continue to see that behaviour, and there is no place for that at all. And it's not just about the Nazis and their targeting of the Jewish community. It's their hatred for anybody who thinks differently or expresses anything differently, or who is multiculturally different to that group of people who, in my eyes, it's disgusting. But anyone, our LGBTIQA plus community, physically and mentally disabled, they target the most vulnerable in our community, because, as I remember the member for Tarneet said as well, they are weak. The minister at the table at the time, the member for Eltham, said they are weak, they are cowards, they hide in the shadows, they target people who are seen or they see to be weaker than them. They target the most vulnerable in our community, the people that, I believe the reason that a lot of us sit in this place, the people that we want to be standing up for, those people that don't have a voice, that don't always have the strongest voice, that's who they target. And there is no place for it. They target those who they have such a narrow view of the world, and anyone who doesn't fit into their box is who they target, and it is disgraceful. We know there is such a huge Jewish community, and I appreciate the member for Greenvale's comments around the numbers and the contribution that community has made to this city, to this state, and to Australia. I've been lucky enough many times to travel to Israel, and I have many, many friends from Israel as a whole. And I stand with them today in speaking in this place in support of this bill. I don't have too much more to add other than we should never ever see this behaviour. We should never have anyone have happened what happened to the member for Box Hill's family. We should never ever see those people in black pyjamas hidden behind masks to hide behind ideology that is unacceptable, that is abhorrent, that is disgusting, that is disgraceful, and to show symbols of hate, to show the Nazi salute of hate. We should never ever see that again, and I commend this bill to the House.